You're listening to Urthcast on TEP Network.
Welcome to Urthcast. I know it's been a while since we've done a previous episode. Today, I have myself, Shadow, as your wonderful host, joined here with Sammy, who was the person who was behind Urthcast XVIII. Want to say any introductory words, Sammy?
Hello, it's me.
There you go. So
Here we go. Yes.
For those of you who are not aware, Urthcast is a Eurovision-esque competition that is hosted.
Oh, Urthvision, actually.
Urthvision. I'm sorry. Whew. I can't think today. Whew. Urthvision. Urthvision is a Eurovision-esque music contest, where different nations send in their songs, and then we compete, and has nice little contest for it. On the most recent edition, it was hosted by none other than New Laganes, and this one was a bit special. You want to talk about why this one was special?
Well, in many ways, but first of all, it was a role play. Usually role plays are written, right? Well, So I got a crazy idea to make a video out of it instead of writing. And the result is what we are going to be talking about here tonight in my case. Okay, so where should we start? Well, this has been an idea I've had very recently, I think even this week, or at least previous week to this recording, and it was because Neoleganes has been commended by Nation States World Assembly, and it mentioned this edition. It mentioned the other editions, but specifically this one mostly because of the fact that it has been recorded in video. So I was proposed to do an article which will be published very soon about the commendation. And I wrote about what it talked about, and one of the things it talked about was Urthvision, as I said. And when I was writing it, the article was really long. It has been 9 pages, I think, 10. I was like, this has been limited in size, and I cannot share fully the whole process, the whole meaning, and the whole lore that Urthvision XVIII has created. So I was on this channel we have on the server that's called Roleplay Ideas. I said I want to expand on this explanation, how Urthvision XVIII was made. Maybe explaining it with the video and narrating it as I did for the original video too would be fantastic, and would allow me to share what this edition really meant. The video already did. Everyone was like, I am really happy because everyone was very excited about this edition. But there has been more that has been going behind the scenes and layers and layers and layers deep. And I think probably it is the best that I explain it rather than leaving it to everyone to guess or to interpret, which is always welcome. But I want to share at least what I had in mind when creating Urthvision XVIII.
Okay, I personally, as somebody who participated in this Urthvision one, I was super excited for it myself, because I knew that there was a lot of work being put into it. I also know that this was a special Urthvision as well, because this was the 3rd time that New Laganes was hosting it. Which I believe is a record in Urthvision history.
It is unbelievable, and yeah, it is a record. New Laganes is the only country that has won more than once, and it has won 3 times. So, and that was the reason behind this. Like, I already had, so I won Urthvision, well, New Leganes won Urthvision XVII together with Blue Asia. It was a tie, and it was a co-hosting. It happened in the next edition. Canonically happened in New Leganes too, in Privetia d'Aurelian, in its capital, and it was amazing. And I wanted to establish that record of winning twice, which indeed happened in Urthvision XIII. And I remember around these channels, we were on a voice chat. It was 2020. We were on all the time doing voice chats during that year.
No, it's definitely were.
Our life was voice chats.
The year our Lord abandoned, 2020, where we decided that to pass the time, we just sat in VCs.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. And I remember in a voice chat, like when I won Urthvision XIII, I was like, I've won finally again. I put a lot of love into that edition. I also put it into the first edition, but the first edition, you find the thing, and maybe you have ideas left to do, and you think, oh yeah, I could have done this, and I could have done that, or I could improve this in some way. And that was a feeling I had a lot for. Like, I tried so hard and got so far.
Hold on, we can't do much more than that. We might get a DMCA takedown request. Don't know.
Oh god, sorry about that. But yeah, I like in the previous editions, I picked songs that would make New Leganes very likely to win or to be near of it, and it was a success. It was twice second, twice third place until it won. So yeah, it was a long run, and I was very happy about that. The problem was that it got me into a very busy time while I did everything I wanted in some way. In another way, I didn't, because I always have, when I read the Urthvision posts or the other editions, I was, at the end, what we are recreating is format that on real life, which is Eurovision, the equivalent, it is a video format. So what we are describing, after all, and what inspired us to write the Urthvision roleplay post is a video. So I began recording stuff in the ways I could. I recorded the qualifiers from the semifinals in that edition, and it was great. I remember every one of us staying there, watching the video all together and finding out who had qualified and what the surprise was, because I had a surprise in that edition, in Urthvision XIV, and it was the special invitee we had, which was one infinite loop. And when everyone found out, it was like, what?
I remember watching that live and absolutely just losing my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, one infinite loop's back. Like, I was so excited.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, essentially what I did for that edition, and what I usually do, is that people I know that could have any interest for participating in Urthvision, I DM them, and I asked them if they want to join. And right after I had won Urthvision XIII, Loop had returned very briefly, but enough in order to to snake into his DMs and ask him, we have this thing called Urthvision on Urth. Would you like to join? And he sent me the song and everything and the description, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening. He left with the video and narrating it as I did. He left before the contest actually happened. He hasn't returned since, but One of Infinite's Loop has canonically done a role play with New Leganes, and that is like, and with the whole of us actually, because it's a massive role play. But so this was the only thing I could record because I was hella busy. Then I thought I had done everything. Like doing the whole video format was a dream I had. which I didn't know if I could accomplish or not. I had a list of songs that I sent after this edition that weren't supposed to win Urthvision. They were supposed to be representative of New Leganes, either folk or pop styles that fit within the Urthvision style I've been following. And the last of that list, which was in Urthvision XVII, was Euphoria by Loreen, a very well-known song for any Eurovision fan. It was the winner of Eurovision 2012. Loreen has won again this year, which wasn't known when I did Urthvision 18. So this was another case of Urth did it first.
Yeah, real life needs to get its own unique script. Like, they need to stop copying what we do on Urth. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
Like, not even a year later. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't even, wait to copy us. You should send a copyright strike against Eurovision 2023. That sounds like a great idea.
BBC, we're coming.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
This is a joke. Eurovision 2023 was awesome. So, yeah, Loreen had one previous... Fornifold, which was a roleplay that has sadly left the game, won with Loreen back in the day in Urthvision 4. I made her return. I linked both the Fornifold and New Leganes plot line, make her return for this edition, but without any aspirations of victory, because it is a very well-known song, and I thought that would make it not win. Well, I was wrong. It won. Gave me two feelings. One of them was feeling a bit bad because potentially having pressed the key of automatic win without being knowledgeable of it. And the other one was, okay, this is the time. I didn't know if I would win 3 times. It is the time. It is time to accomplish the dream, and because I am now free. It was exactly a year ago. It was summer I was not exactly free, but I could dedicate my free time to it. And same for the 7 months that it lasted. It ended. Urthvision 18 ended exactly when I was not busy anymore. When I was not free anymore. Perfectly timed. So yes, I began to work on it. The very next day, I already had in mind. The previous edition I had hosted was based on Stockholm 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And this one would be based on Malmö 2013, because it was the edition that happened after Loreen won with Euphoria in real life. And it was hosted by the same host I have used in my 2 other editions, which is Petra Meder. I began working on it. I made an announcement video announcing that it would happen again in Privatita Aurelien in Boråsen, which is the stadium that has hosted it 3 times, and that it would be Petra Mede, and that the main theme was composed by the first winner, the first Turkish winner on Urthvision, which was Kunz. That was already establishing things, because I've been having a bit of trouble with referencing that first Turkish winner, because the real life counterpart doesn't have a lot of songs that I would send to Urthvision or that have a memorable performance or any of the like. So I decided to make him the soundtrack composer of the edition, which fits because it's kind of electronic, and he's a DJ in real life. So there you go. I opened this submission period, and this time I didn't really sneak into people's DMs so much as I did on the previous editions. It was pretty much everyone asking myself, I want to join with this song, which was amazing. There was a lot of enthusiasm from the very beginning. And yeah, it lasted for 2 months, the submissions period. I wanted to make it long so people would have a lot of time to think. There was several changes. People changed a lot of the songs. I made a sheet together with Kirla, who is in. I don't know if they are here, but
they are not.
they are not. Yeah, I spoke with them. I wanted to organize all this. Kirla is with myself, and so we both are the how's it called? The Urthvision Rules Commission members. So this was in order to keep it all in rule and ordered and everything nicely done. So it was already, I think the submissions period wasn't finished already when I began working on the final, because I work in that way usually. I work by, I don't know if it's called deduction in English. Like I follow a deductive method, which is like thing. It inspires me a thing, and I do that thing, which is great in some way because it gives me a lot of freedom to work and stuff. And on the other way, it takes me a lot of time to find inspiration. So there you have the 7 months that this whole thing lasted, inspiration and technical issues behind it. So yeah, I began working on the final, and Eurovision 2013 had a logo of butterflies with each country's colors. And the national animal of New Leganés is a kiwi, flying kiwi. So I was like, 1 + 1 is 2. And yeah, I began designing already in August. I began designing all the country's colors, all the country's kiwis with the flag colors. And I had a lot of fun with it. For example, the Isn't kiwi, that was Kaulas Luna told me to when I did the kiwi, Luna was one of the first people that sent me a song, and she told me, can the Nistatin kiwi have cat ears? And I was like, okay, well, so it was a fun time designing each country's aspects. I did every kiwi differently from each other, and I began in October working on it. Kirla sent me a background which I used for the signs, which will be shown later, and then I began with the finals introduction, a very nice adaptation of Vision 2013, as I was saying, and I wanted to have that already developed in order to work for the semifinal.
How many of these kiwis/butterflies did you have to make?
Oh, there were 41 countries officially on the contest. All 41 got their own kiwis. Some of them had second versions, some of them even 3 versions. For example, the North Italian one had 3 versions, because white is a bit of a problem with the kiwis. White flags were a bit of pain. But yeah, and then I began adding the symbols. For example, Algeria's flag first had a version without the eagle. Then I added the eagle. Probably I reached the number of 50 kiwis. I also did, for example, Sokala at the end didn't make it to participate, but they also got their own kiwi. So yeah, it was a whole lot of kiwis, and I posted them every time on RP. How's it?
RP Pictures.
RP Pictures. Yes, it was my way of announcing the countries. So it was of announcing the participating countries. So from the beginning, it was very visual. Which is the intention I had. I wanted to instead of boom, here you have the text, make it boom. This is the kiwi of X country, so you know who is participating next. So yeah, 41 countries. That is the record. The previous record was Vision 14, which was 38. Got over that. So in October, I began, before the submissions period ended, I began with the finals introduction, which we will watch later. But after that, and after the submissions period had ended, then I began working on the video, which goes as follows. This is the actual main point of the Urthcast. So these are each of the how is it called?
Each of the banners for
each of the banners for each edition, exactly. The ones that we have recorded, because some of the first editions didn't have any banners. And this is the current edition's one. This is the Kiwi. This is the New Leganes Kiwi. I didn't add this star at the end because I already had established this image. So, but I probably would have added the star if I had not made it before. And then this thingy, Halerek Ojecharekfi, it means become your own song. So it is a reference to one of my two main RPs, which is Narilet Hal, with this Hal here, which is song. The song of you all, it's you will become something. No, become, like, imperative thing. Kyokushi is so complex. I sometimes miss the details of it. Oh god.
Hey, you know what? You've put effort into developing Cookish at least. I am very bad at making progress for my own constructed language, so it's okay. And if you mince it, we won't know, because we're not the ones who are making the language. It's okay.
So, yeah, this is the very first example of the crazy I got with this edition, where adding layers and layers and layers and layers of lore behind. So the first edition didn't have any specific topic. The first edition I hosted. The second one, not really, but it already had a bit of, like previous entries, previous Urthvision experiences. It also happens on the semifinal one, on the intervals, as we will watch later. But with this edition, what I did mostly was referencing Kyokush lore. And how it is all very linked to music, as readers of Nadi Letal may have read. So become your own song. It was inspired because the main theme of the final of Eurovision 2013 is called we write the story, and it also says we write the song. Well, in Kyokush, before that, Hal means both story and song. So I wanted to make it metaphor of how through music, and through music in the case of Urthvision, we are making a contest. We are making a role play. After all, it is a role play. We're writing, we're developing lore. Many people are with the info and with the songs. So become your own song is also become your own story. Story and song, which is what this roleplay is about. Like narrating and creating lore out of music. So that was the point of this. And then, well, okay, this was a hard time. Okay, to the tune of Euphoria, as you can hear. Well, those flags were difficult. Let's see if I can get it again, because it was lagging a bit. It is lagging again. Anyway, those flags were really difficult. I had to spend hours on the internet looking for the... Okay, this is running crazy! Stop! I told you to stop! Okay, anyway.
Welcome to Technology Doesn't Work.
Yeah, it never worked. It worked a bit with this edition. At least I could make 7 hours of this, but that was it. So those flags were a pain in a pod, you can imagine, because I had to look for hours for websites that could turn the Urth flags into rippling effects. And they were not. There wasn't any version that was transparent. There wasn't any way. I finally made it. I don't even remember how I made that Corso flag be transparent. I remember I did it somehow, because I remember making it, but I don't remember how. It was already a long time ago, but it is. So this is only 40 seconds in, and it already had a lot of technical issues. So, Berachen, because, well, I wanted to reference, Berachen because of this. So, it is not stopping, as usual, but if you have seen those bagpipes, they are a lore element I am introducing a lot recently in Nadilet Hal and in the whole Q-Kish sphere, which I am linking with Perachen a lot through the Commonwealth of Orsal and through Implanza. And the bagpipes, I still haven't figured out exactly how, but they will have... there will be a lot of connection between all these areas of the of Arcturia, between Gondwana and all.
So how did you decide which nations were? Because obviously you have like the flags of different nations kind of like flying over it, and or over IRL flags, and you're trying to show the kiwi where the butterflies were. So how did you decide which nation was going to be put on? Like, for example, the Germany one, where they were in like a pub, looks kind of looks like Bavarian. Could be wrong. But
I think it was North Itharia. For reasons you can't imagine. So North Itharia had a song in German, so I placed North Itharia there, and in place of the German flag that was originally there. And then the other one that was shown was, let's see, it was Varletia. Varletia. This was more random. Hold on, let's see if I can open this again. Yeah, here we go. Varletia was more random. So it was many times it was here it is. Many times it's a combination of actual references, and I have to fill the gaps. That was a time of filling the gaps. Here, I don't know why, this inspired me a Cochetan vibe. So there you have the Cochetan Kiwi.
Okay.
Now I think it will be Illaria. I think. Yes, Yaria. So, and then Nistatisma. So,
Nistantizia with the little cat ears on the kiwi.
oops. Yeah. So the Yarian one was I think it was more random, but then when I had edited it, I thought of I was like, I missed the opportunity to add here Mirheim because of the whole because this was Ireland originally, so Mirheim would have been great in that place.
Right.
So that was and that is a thing I need to comment on this. So semifinal one was very rushed because semifinal one almost didn't make it because when I was editing it, my laptop's motherboard died. When I was about to finish it, I was sad. I was mad. I was everything with add, everything, and it got delayed a bit. It would have been released, I think, 2 or 3 weeks before it got. But then when and then it had another problem, which was that usually I upload these videos to Vimeo, and it didn't let me because it was too long. It is 2 hours. So then Kayla told me, "What about your own drive?" I was like, "Oh, actually," and that was, but that was Shadow wasn't that voice chat. I think it was Kayla, Shadow, and I, and they saw me enraging like a whole lot because everything was going wrong, and many things went kind of wrong with Seinfeld 1. It went great as a whole, but there are many mistakes. For example, there are some countries that don't have several postcards that don't have the places they're referencing, or I had to narrate. This doesn't have any added narration. I had to narrate it on the voice chat, and actually twice for the people from Asia too. So this was a bit messy, but I still am very happy with how it was, especially given the conditions that it was made with.
I specifically remember that. Wasn't that also the voice chat or the voice call that we were doing, where you were starting to also have fan issues with the computer as well, which was not helping the issue at all either.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like a whole lot of stuff happening at the same time. So it is kind of a miracle that semifinal 1 happened. So yeah, Nistatisna in this place because it looked cold and kind of with the car. It's a very old car and agriculture and everything. So it gave me a whole thing of oppressed people as Nistatisna.
I get that
and
every
then
time. Every time I think of that,
with the party, of course, with Euphoria.
Yes. Every time I think of the Nistatisna like car driving up, I think of the Monty Python skit where you have King Arthur. King Arthur with the coconuts galloping up, and they're like, "Oh no, the being press!" Like that's the image that I have in my head every time I think of that.
That's great. Oh my god. Yeah, so we get a very similar image of Nistatisna. Yeah, so let's see if it begins again. Okay. Come on. Here we go. So we're driving to the venue. interpret this as Kiwis, of course.
All the Kiwis!
All the Kiwis. Privetia Aurelian! And Porosi. So this was, of course, it was the first interval, so it had to have Euphoria, the previous winning song. It was the same with Eurovision 2013. Actually, it was this exact interval as the first opening act.
Ooh.
But as I had won with Euphoria before, it fitted. It is a very beautiful version. So Lorraine appears somewhere around here. Maybe I can. So Lorraine in this on Earth is called Lorien. That was a name for Furnifold gave her, and I have kept, of course. But since Lorraine in real life descends from an Amazigh family, a Berber family from the Atlas in Morocco, I decided to make her be born in Wet Shams, which is based on Amazigh too. And there she is. So it's some kind of great figure we've created there, like shared between 3 countries at the end. Furnifold is not on the map anymore, but still, that was the intention. Like, Furnifold was a very great role player, which probably many of you haven't met, but he once told me, I think he was the first one that told me, I want you to win so bad. For after the whole editions, like I was very excited about winning and hosting, and winning with his winner is quite a honor. And of course, Lorraine, I am very fan of Lorraine in real life. I share a lot with her in many ways, and it is great. It is great in all levels. So yeah, this is the opening act. Then maybe I can take it a bit. Well, too much. But this is Petra Mede. This is the Kickish host of all editions, and if I can, well, there you have the translation. So this whole thing of detailing everything begins with me asking the cartographers how far could here we go. So when I began editing this, there's this dialogue of real life Petra Mede, in which she tells the distance between Baku, the previous edition, and Malmö in this edition, and I wanted to make that from Alto Mare in Taus to Pritao, to Privateat Aurelian, and Dead, Ian, and Astro made the calculation. So that was a great thing. Like adding to the detail. Well, semi-final one is hitting again with all the technical issues. This semi-final is a bit cursed, seems like. But anyway, so around here, there is a reference that some people might understand a lot. I don't know if they are here, but it should be after this. So she says, okay, so it's after this, I believe. So it's a reference to a roleplay element I am creating in the context of Nali Lethal, and it was born. It is now what happens. Yes, Storj the Guardian. Storj the Guardian is well known for some people because it began as a D&D character. And I wanted to introduce that character into my lore so much. So this Urthvision essentially is my excuse to work on lore for my countries so much. And this is an example of it. Yeah, so Petramede now begins explaining the whole rules, first two of semifinals. Yes. So, and then I explain myself the whole thing, but then, yeah, here's when I usually explain the voting rules, and then it should begin with the countries, and then I can have place to explain the postcards, which was another of my crazy things in this edition.
I'm just going to say, due to DMCA guidelines, I don't think we should play too much of any of the songs being performed, so that if we do upload this, we don't get struck down by the magical laws.
I wasn't either way. Yeah, I wasn't either way because I'm just trying to comment the more technical stuff or.
But I do have to say though, if you can go back to the card with all of the Kiwis on it, because I think that's really cool. Especially because you had to split it up into two semifinals because of the fact again that it was 41.
Yeah, it was
nations.
Yeah, it was. Let's see if it lets me pause the thing, which shouldn't be so difficult. Let that vision begin. It has already ended, but anyway, let me. Okay, Kozo. Yeah, I used here the postcard of the actual entry just sent, which is the Swedish entry on Eurovision 2022. Here, I mainly use this one in order to show the artist, and that is a case that happens a lot with previous Eurovision artists. Most of the times, I didn't really look into Kukish places or anything. On the flags! Let me pause. And the letters and everything. Come on!
Technology working. Any percentage speed run.
Yeah, cut this from the video when you upload it. Well, it doesn't answer. Okay, I'm gonna close it as a whole.
Okay. That might be the faster way to get it to stop, unfortunately, now. Oh, no. But I really enjoyed the fact, the amount of work that you put into it, especially when you were having the motherboard issue, and we sat with you on the voice chat the one day, as you were trying to get it done, and again your fan started not working, and the motherboard was giving grief and everything. But the amount of work that you've put into it was astonishing, especially with the semifinal ones. So, I don't know if we're going to be able to see the semifinal 2 like this, or even the final one where you could see all three of them. But Sammy put on it all of the Kiwis for that edition, and in the order that they were going to be performing in too. So it made it really easy to follow when it was going to happen. Actually, if I try to look really hard, I think it's still pinned in one of the... I think it's still pinned in the text channel. It is! Okay, hold on. I'm going to do a thing really quickly.
Okay.
Because I'm going to.
And I'm also doing a thing right now. I will share another stuff. Because I will. So I have here the how's it called? I have the folder with each and every of the artist's flag.
Yes.
But
I now have on the recording you can see it. But I have up now the grand final that shows all of the different Kiwis that were in the final, in the finale.
Oh yes.
Just to show off the Kiwis, because again, it was so nice. It was so cool.
Thank you.
I remember when every single one was being posted, kind of announcing who was coming into it. Like, it started to become a game of, like,
who's coming next?
Yeah, who's gonna be next? Like, who's putting in an entry this time? And personally, for me, what I really enjoyed is in the final, both of my nations that I sent songs for, Gamble Vinland and Algeria, both made it to the final. And Gamble Vinland actually ended up going after Norgsveldet, but before Nisnatiznia, which was really cool because they're all part of the family of Norgsveldet, that very complicated family. So it was kind of nice.
Very complicated family.
Yeah, exactly. It was really nice having the black sheep of the family have to show up and show up and have to force to be recognized, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is always great to have so many countries, not because of only making it more exciting technically, but exactly to show all the lore. It is a window. It is such a window to explore and to showcase, like, exactly countries that usually can be many times you just watch them in another context. And just as real Eurovision, because Eurovision was born with that intention, like to make countries come together and to share their own culture and everything. In this case, it is the same. Like, we usually roleplay a lot about war or about pies things happening in politics, or but here we have another option, like countries that are usually like countries that you have Nistatisna. We're always speaking about Nistatisna, but there's many countries that usually are known for other stuff, and here have the opportunity to showcase another image. Images as the one that I'm showing here on the stream. This is all the flags I designed for each of the artists. And I am especially going to click on Corchetta's one because it was painful. Actually, it's only screen. It only shows the folder, but anyway, Corchetta's one was painful because of the same as the other ones, but this one especially. So the problem with this was that I needed to I wanted to show each of the country's artists so they become recognizable, or and people have an image of their own artists representing their own country. They haven't shadowed themselves with the image of ghosts and Algeria.
Yes! Yes!
I knew they would love that one so much. I put a special intention onto that one.
Yeah, the one that Sammy did for Alexandria is now a flag that I use on a lot of my puppets in nation states because it's really cool to have the I don't know if you still have the flag. Actually, I might have it. I'll look for it on another time. Who cares? But I really love the position of Papa Emeritus standing there, like, like, yeah, like having his arms open, kind of thing. It like looks like he's trying to give you a hug.
I saw that image, the original one, and I was like, oh my god, this has to be praising the eagle.
Praise the eagle.
Yes. This was an absolute Easter egg. I think that there might be some other Easter eggs, but this one was this one was big.
That one was too perfect, honestly. But yeah. What was your favorite flag to make? I know you mentioned that the Corchetta one was the one that gave you kind of the most amount of trouble.
Yeah, it was trouble. It was troublesome because the colors were very. The background was very similar to the clothes colors. So in order to make it blank, that was I had to do it manually, and I had to do manually the whole 4 artists of Cortetta.
What was the easiest one to make?
Alzira was very easy.
Really?
For example, yeah. It got the background off very easily. Yeah. And I think I liked a lot the Nistitizen one and the Sayed one. Oh, the Darelia. Darelia was great.
Can you show that one?
Yes, I am going now. Darelia was great because they had an image that they were doing some sort of gymnastics. That was, I had a fun time with that one. Let's see if it, it's here. Maybe I should try and, oh no, this is Alexandria, this is Darelia. I'm gonna try with 1080 resolution and see if it gets less trouble. So this is Darelia. It was very funny.
You know what? I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know what they are doing, but it got into Sayed. Sayed was a great one too. Actually, the winner. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
I don't know what got into Sayed. I think it's because I clicked. Yeah,
probably.
Tivot was great. Tevaltistan too. I think Tevaltistan flag is great because it's very panoramic.
Mm-hmm.
It was the color. The color is great. The color combination, and everything. I love this flag.
I really like the chest. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a vest, and it matches with the color of like the wheat and the yellow lines on the flag. So it kind of all works together very well.
Yeah, it is like exactly. It has this here and this here. They match a lot. Mm-hmm. Then the colors match. Then the patterns match.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
It's very aesthetically pleasing, and Josep Mamai, Tevaltistan's artist, I got to remember, I remember each in-character name after editing them so much. This was Josep Mamai from Tevaltistan, and the colors also fit with the shirt, gold and blue. Tivot, because we got into the last one. Sato, this was great too. Phoenixia.
I kind of just like the smile on it, and it's like everyone else kind of had like a blank expression for a bit, and then all of a sudden you had the smile on the old man.
Yeah, Pakilvania was a great one too,
Mhm.
because he was he's on his side, and it allowed me to place him on the side and show the Pakilvanian flag here. Yeah, there was another thing. I tried to show the coats of arms, each of the symbols in the best way I could. For example, the Owen Isles was a bit tricky, but at least you could see it back
Mhm.
there. Nistatisna. This was great.
Tisna. Honestly, I agree. This is probably the best one. This is probably the best one. Only
This is
because
great.
like it just fits.
Yeah, it is great because also it fits, and I saw that. So the image was like a square.
Mhm.
You can see it a bit on the hairs, sadly, but here, um, here in this place, it was awesome because it made the illusion that the cross is going in front, like above the guitar.
Ooh. And then at the same time it looks like he's sitting on top of it too. So it looks like you have this I
Yeah, it
almost called
looks
it
like
cat
it is.
corner, but that's not the word I'm
Wow,
looking for.
I didn't realize that one. That's great. Yeah, it was a great one. Yeah, some of them were tricky. North
Mhm.
Italia, for example, because if I placed him here,
Mhm.
it would hide the coat of arms.
Mhm.
Noxveldet was great too. Noxveldet was so the Noxveldian artists in real life only have like 3 songs. So they're very unknown, and I was afraid, like, oh god, maybe I can't find a picture for them. But the first one was awesome. It fitted there. New Leganés was awesome too.
Mhm.
Nagato,
Mhm.
Morsibishlia, Mirheim. I liked the expression of him. I like opening his jacket for some reason.
Yeah, that does look really good.
Yeah. Mercorea. Oh, yeah. Letoria. Letoria was a bit of trouble because the flag is actually a real life one. Is the flag of Navarra in Spain. Uh,
Uh
so I was like, oh, perfect time to cover it precisely. uh, then yeah, so and so on. The 41 countries.
right.
So the so yeah, each of these was shown before the performance. So in order that you keep in mind who is about to perform, like it makes it very recognizable. For example, these are the models for the that didn't make it at the end. So for example, this is a great example of that. This is the Guduk one. So I edited this. I edited the whole contest without having listened to the songs or seen the videos before, because I liked to go and vote, because at the end I am participating too, and I want to go fully anew to the songs. That was another challenge. Because, for example, when I had to do the recaps, I didn't have I didn't know what to pick, and I had to guess which was the main part of the song, and that was difficult. But I think I did it with all the songs. I think Algeria was one that got me a bit of trouble because I picked a part that is part of the chorus, but it's the end. Like, if you choose to run away with me, that part was the
Yeah.
one. And I thought that would be the chorus for some reason, and it was not. It was Mariana Cross, but Um,
Oops.
Spoilers. but
Spoilers!
but yeah, so in this case with Kuduk, it there were both men and women singing, and I didn't know because I hadn't watched the video when I recorded the thing. So I picked a picture that there were only the men. So here you have it. Look, it even had some trouble here. I didn't edit it. look at this. Look at this.
It's blending. The flag is eating them.
Yeah, it was very difficult. The quartet that one. Yeah, Jarisben. These were the two versions I had for Gamla Vinland. I ended with this one because and that exactly. I didn't know that Luke Ranieri was singing for Gamla Vinland because I had only tried to catch the chorus, and the chorus was only shown with lyrics. So I then went with the original character because I didn't know. And then I told Shadow about it, and they said, you can go with that, it's fine, but actually it's not the artist. It's Luke Ranieri, and I was like, oh god.
Whoops.
Whoops.
And that was kind of my fault because I chose a song that it was really hard to choose who the artist of that song was because it was originally from a movie, but it was reproduced to be in a different language, so it was a whole thing.
And Iyaria is another great example. This so this flag had a very low resolution version only. So I contacted Norgs and asked them, do you have a high resolution flag for Iyaria? And he said, no, I actually don't. And I was like, oh, we have some trouble here. And I told him, hold on, I'm going to do something. And I I looked for if there were some tools to make this, like to make a better resolution out of an image, and I did. So
it also looks like the artist is like, if you had just moved the artist over a little more, it would have looked like the artist was leaning on the cross of the...
Yes. And I was conflicted about that one because it wouldn't show the, I think it's a crow or an eagle or a vulture maybe. I didn't know. It is a real life symbol actually, but I don't remember what it was exactly, what type of it. Anyway, it wouldn't show it because well, all of this would have been crumb. So I was like, but I think it was a great one. Like again, Urthvision developing new lore. Thanks to this, Ejaria got a high resolution flag.
Yay! Bam!
Boom. Praria, I had, so since the image was very big, I had to put Craria's flag. Not that it was very big. That there were no spaces between them. So I had to place the Craria flag here. Then Salanora, Cavellan, Cameria, this artist. Blue Asia. This was a great one too.
Oh yeah.
Ethiopia. Oh, rip! This one got very pixelated, and I didn't notice. Yeah, yeah. This was something that happened sometimes. With the Yaria, I noticed, but Ethiopia and Sayed, for example, too. I didn't notice that. Auravas, Augustia, Algeria, Iventis. Iventis. So these artists, this picture, so 5 Seconds of Summer, in real life, and Iventis gave them the name of something with autumn, I think it was. And so this picture is when from like 10 years ago, and I didn't know when this song was made. So I picked any picture of them. With certain details. But yeah, they are in the song. They are shown to be much older than they are in this picture. Yeah. Adorazna, and I think that is the first one. Yes. Yeah, that is the first one. So,
do you have that? Honestly, that's, again, the amount of work that you put into doing all of this is really cool. But before we wrap it up for today, because it has gone on for about an hour.
I am about to go into the intervals, and then and then that's it. Like,
Okay.
This was for the postcards. For the postcards, I also have a little thingies, and let's see if I try to stream it with lower quality, maybe it will allow me to be much more smoother. So what were you saying, Shadow?
I was gonna say, did you have any like kind of final thoughts that you wanted to say before we kind of wrap it up? Because again, it has gone on for about an hour. But I know that you want to show the intervals before.
Yeah, it's the intervals with this one will be very easy, so it's fine. We can do maybe we can do 3 episodes. Another for the semi-final and another for the
Finale.
For the final.
Nice.
The finale, yes. Okay, so yeah, when I don't stream it, it works perfectly. So I already showed Kozo. I said that it didn't show any specific Kukish plays because, yeah, with the Eurovision ones, I focus more on showing the actual postcards, which would describe them as artists. But then we have artists as, for example, it is the next one, Tawuz. I don't know if it shows the, how's it called? Yeah, it does. It does. The place name. It does. So, streaming. Here we go. In order to show what the rest of so all podcasts showed different places. But in order to show an example of them, a very brief example of them. So this is Tawuz, which is about to appear here. Yes, this is the Kiwi. And well, so this so essentially I wanted to show that was the other intention of this role play. I wanted to show in the best way possible a portrait of New Leganés, of the cooperative Commonwealth of New Leganés, the Oblivion Islands, and Shoneria, the whole of it. So each postcard showed a different place that would show in some way a great image of what that area could be like. So, for example, with Galava in Lacerins, Lacerins is in the Oblivion Islands. The Oblivion Islands are made of 2 archipelagos, and it is the northern one that is Lacerins. So with Lacerins, I went with images from Mauritius, because it suggested me a tropical climate, which is the climate that is in these islands. New Leganés has a subtropical climate, and Shoneria is also a bit of subtropical, but I think it's colder. Because it's more to the south and it's quite near. And this is Aurora, the Tawuzian artist. So after these landmarks, I would show footage from each artist and explain the info that everyone gave me. Sometimes summarized because sometimes it didn't fit into the roughly 30 seconds that I gave for both New Leganés landmark and artists. So that made it approximately 1 minute of postcard. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Most of the times more. But yeah, for example, so this was Lacerins. Then I had I don't know if we can. Oh, this is Tawuz already. But yeah, so essentially I tried to divide it into equal parts for New Leganés, Oblivion Islands, Troneria, and Privetia Dorilin, which was the host city. So I also wanted to dedicate a bit of space to it. With Privetia Dorilin, I have taken inspiration from the cities that inspire me also what Privetia Dorilin could be like. Privetia Dorilin is at the end of the postcards. This is the last entry, so I think it showed it. I think this one showed. Yeah, this is Adurazna, which was second to last. And around, well, let's see. Maybe this way. Yes. So, for example, this is these are the Chamartín towers in Madrid. So, Madrid is very similar in size to Privetia de Aurelian, and is also a capital of a very diverse country. So, it inspires me that with Privetia de Aurelian too. But in other postcards, I also show it. A big city next in a very touristic place, as New Leganés is. Tourism is one of the main points of New Leganés' economy. So a very touristic place full of tall buildings proper of capital, of a big capital as Privetia de Aurelian, or and in a hard setting. So for that, and with so Privetia de Aurelian was very influenced by the Commonwealth of Versailles back in the 16th century mainly. So Peragen, as most of you will know, is mainly a combination of Spanish and Greek elements. So I went with the city of Benidorm for some of the postcards, which is in Spain and is one of the cities that has the most skyscrapers and is very touristic too. And it also has beach, which is a big part of the tourism of New Leganés, of course. So I can't seem to. I maybe they went on this specific one. Yeah, well, of course, New Leganés is a very rich country, so there is, of course, a lot of rich people tourism, such as an underground restaurant. So I was like, yeah, I need to introduce something very for rich people, you know. So, I could be picking stuff here and there. We don't have a lot of time. I will maybe on the next chapter I will talk more about each specific postcard, because they all tell a story. They all tell a different story. And we have taken a lot of time today with the introduction and how Urthvision happened and everything. But then we have the intervals. So for finishing each of the semi-finals and the final, as in Eurovision, there's some interval acts before the voting. And the interval acts were my excuse. My absolute excuse, together with the postcards, but the intervals make it very long. They were my perfect excuse to show the different aspects of New Leganes. So with semifinal, in as with the opening acts, the interval acts had different themes. So with semifinal one, the theme was for the opening act. The theme was the previous winner, Lorien in on Earth, and with the interval acts, it was previous Urthvision entries. And I wanted to honor especially this one, which I won't play because Shadow has already explained. But this was this is Waves. This is called Waves. In real life, its equivalent is Waves by Mr. Probs, and it was Neil Organizer's second entry on the contest, and one that almost won. It was only 2 points from winning, and it was the one that got me into this whole thing of I need to win your Urthvision. I want to host it so bad. I've been so close to it, so I wanted to honor it, like being the first on the intervals. It was like the beginning of everything, and then we got, if I am correct, there were a lot of this one was packed with intervals. I used so this Wipe song from Mr. Probs in real life was popularized by the DJ Robin Schulz. So I chose an interval by Robin Schulz, which fits a lot into the whole style that would be produced in New Leganes. New Leganes is very big on pop. He's very big on what we would call Euro pop in real life, which I called C-pop on Earth because of Kukish. And then this is Say It Right, which was third on 2 Eurovisions before I won for the second time. That was Urthvision XVII, which is it was third. It is a song that is not from Eurovision as usually are. So I thought it would be nice to have a non-Eurovision song here, and one that made it very well in the contest. And then, if I am correct, and this was of course. Here we go. So these two are Luis Valdetortuga, believe it or not. It's not Madonna, it's Luis Valdetortuga, which is it's a Kukish singer with and also from South Hills. Valdetortuga is a city in South Hills, and she was the representative of New Leganes in Urthvision XV, the one in Kirloth. And I can't turn it back. We're here again with the technical issues, but the other one was not Justin Timberlake. It was Carl Stone Lake, which is the first Urthvision winner from Kathras, which already was in Urthvision 14 too, in one of the intervals. And so in real life, Justin Timberlake and Madonna have a song together called 4 Minutes, which is produced by Timbaland, the same one that produced Say It Right, the previous interval. So I thought it would be great to have it linked that way. And then and linking everything, of course, like winners of Urthvision working with other Urthvision artists, like it would certainly happen in character. And this was the last. Here they are. And then it was then it was Halini Frera, which is she ended second on Urthvision 9. It was the first time. It was like the first in a row of podiums. and I wanted to have her, especially because this is actually a share. It didn't begin as a share character, but when Tech Tag arrived here, I have worked a lot of lore with him. He's not on Earth anymore, but he was a great Urthvision enthusiast. And he wanted to submit her at some point. I had already submitted her, but he would have my full permission if he ever returns and wants to do so. But I wanted to honor that collaboration in some way with this artist, so I thought it would be great to have her as the last interval, because I think she is the last one. Most probably it doesn't load, but yeah, I am very certain that she is. So yes, this has been most, if not all, of semifinal one. Semifinal one was the beginnings of what would become the whole thing, the whole contest. Semifinal 2 went a lot crazier than this one. This one was very affected by technical issues, and still it got a lot of work and a lot of layering. But the next one was pretty much the deepest in lore terms. And when I got I can't recognize myself in all the things I did in that one. And it worked perfectly. So this was semifinal one. I usually describe it as a trial. It is the trial. It is the intro to the actual Urthvision of what it really turned into. And it already was very complex. We've been speaking about all this for an hour and a half already.
Yeah, it's been long.
It's been a long time. So get ready, grab a snack when I get into semifinal 2, because it's gonna be intense.
Yeah. I remember when semifinal 1 was finally wrapped up, and even with all of its technical issues, between semifinal 1 and semifinal 2, things got a lot smoother. And I'm excited to be able to talk about semifinal 2 another day, for sure. But I feel like this episode is very good, and we at least got to talk about semifinal 1 and some of the fun, silly challenges that you had to go through for this one, including but not limited to the laptop dying.
The laptop. My poor laptop.
The laptop.
11 years old.
The laptop. Everything comes back
around. It is 11
around.
years old, and it did all of it. So while for semifinal 1 it was horrible, I must admit that wow, an 11-year-old laptop did 7 hours of video. That was the laptop is the hero of all this.
As it should be. Do you have any final thoughts or words you want to say about semifinal 1 and about the process of Urthvision XVIII, or anything relating to it?
Pertaining especially to the first part of it, like the development and semifinal 1, it was very fun. It was so. Maybe it's coming very soon. Aga was releasing it very soon, so soon that maybe it has been released already, because I see a lot of pings. But
I think it's still being. I think that one's still being worked on. I think there's a couple of edits that are being done for it, but it should be coming out soon. That the article that you're talking about, it should be coming out soon.
Oh, amazing!
Hashtag insider knowledge.
yeah, so then I can introduce what it will be. So the article I am publishing is called "The Language of Dreams," and that goes about that goes after a quote by George R. Martin, but which I will explain in the article. But with the whole language of dreams thing, I already told in the beginning that this was a dream I had to see, like to experience Urthvision, not only to read it, not only to participate or to win or to host, but to live it. To this is my whole experience on Earth is based on translating what I already have developed for a whole lot of time and many thoughts constantly on my head, to translate it into a format that everyone can get into, which is text in most of the cases. But in this case, I thought that the best way Urthvision worked for me was in video, and when I was editing it and seeing that it was happening, it was taking shape. It was everyone was joining in 41 countries. It's, seeing all of that, it was very magical. I can't believe it's already been an exact year from the victory and the beginning of it all. So and I think what I appreciate the most from all of this is that it is not something I went crazy about and I did all alone and everything. No. Everyone was very excited about this. Everyone, every time I posted a giveaway, it got into the starboard.
Starboard.
As a proof, but more about that, like not limited to that. Everyone, and that very and that made me go even crazy about it. Like, okay, if you're enjoying this, we're going to enjoy it even more. and that's when semifinal 2 happened. So yeah, I think the most special about it is like seeing that not only it works, but everyone likes it and everyone engages with it. And like everything. Also, special mention before we end to Kirla. I will mention them a whole lot of times, but Kirla administered all the the data. We had an Excel. I opened an Excel, the same Excel I was mentioning at the beginning that collected all the votes. All the entries. Then Kirla added all the votes in it and made a formula and everything, so that there was a very nice table that collected what each country had voted and what each country had earned. And I couldn't have done that alone at all. So Kirla had also made a lot of work behind the scenes. Yeah, I did a video, which is what we're talking about, but like Urthvision XVIII was not only me, it was also Kirla, and it was also everyone being very excited about it and giving me the impulse to continue and to get even crazier and to share all this lore that I did. So yeah, probably those work better for the final episode, so I will repeat them. But yeah, if you ask me, that was the best for the beginning and probably for the end too. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us kind of a window into semifinal 1 for Urthvision XVIII at least. Again, I really look forward to being able to talk about like semifinal 2 and especially the final. And I feel like like everything kind of culminates at the very end. And it's really cool.
All came together.
Alright, I would like to thank our audience for listening, for the people that were here in the audience, and for everybody else who is listening after the fact. This recording should be going up soon. Have your quotations. But it should be going up soon. But it was really enjoyable. Thank you so much for coming out, Sammy, and for talking. And thank you all for listening. We will see you again.
For the idea of Urthcast. Oh my god.
Say it again?
Thank you. No, thank you for the idea of the Urthcast.
Listen, I'm good at this. I'm good at what I do sometimes. Thank you all so much for joining. We will see you again on this beautiful channel and probably at a better time next time, I hope. Anyways, have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Urthcast on TEP Network.